Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling a real nightmare for anyone in high-end AV,
Oh, yeah.
sending huge amounts of data. I mean, we're talking full 8K resolution over a serious distance without the whole thing just falling apart.
Right. It's the ultimate technical tightrope walk.
So we're going to take a really close look at the tech that promises to solve this. It's the Kramer CLS-AOCH 50 ultra high-speed HDMI optic hybrid cable.
And you're pushing, what, 48 gigabits per second? That kind of bandwidth just completely chokes out normal passive copper cables almost immediately.
Exactly. So our mission here is to figure out what makes this hybrid optical cable work so well for, these long-haul, high-fidelity connections.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's zoom in on that core technical achievement. The sources say this cable can reliably push 8K signals up to 100 meters. That's 328 feet.
Yeah, and that distance is usually the absolute breaking point. The breakthrough is right there in the name. It's an active hybrid cable.
So it's not just one thing. It's not just fiber or copper.
Exactly. It uses both. It have high-performance OM3 fiber strands. That's the stuff they use in data centers. And it also has traditional copper wiring inside.
Okay, that 48 GBPs is a big number, but what's the real-world value of that design for the person actually doing the installation?
Well, it's really about quality without compromise. That mix of fiber and copper means a much, much lower risk of outside interference, EMI and RFI.
Which is a huge problem on long copper runs.
A massive problem. Think of a long copper run as shouting across a crowded room. This is more like sending a direct text message. No noise gets in. And crucially, it means you get transparent EDID and HDCP 2.2 support with zero signal loss.
Zero attenuation over the full 100 meters.
Not a drop.
But what about power? Optical cables, they often need their own power brick, which is just another failure point. Is there a hidden catch here?
That's a great question. And no, because it's a hybrid, it actually draws all the power it needs right from the HDMI source.
So no external power supply.
None, which simplifies the job immensely.
Okay, now let's talk pure performance. What kind of resolutions are we actually getting out of that 48 gigabit pipe?
It meets the full HDMI 2.1 spec. So you're getting video resolutions up to 8K at 60 hertz, specifically in the 4.2.0 color space, and you also get 4K at a super smooth 120 hertz.
Hold on, 4.2.0, for our listeners, that sounds a lot like compression. Are we losing some visual quality here to get that 8K data through?
You're right to ask. It is a form of compression, but the cable also fully supports what's called display stream compression, or DSC.
And DSC is?
It's a visually lossless technology. It manages the data so well that the visual impact is basically zero. This is what lets it also support things like dynamic HDR and EIRC, the high-quality audio return channel.
Okay, so the signal side is flawless. But, 100 meters of 48 gigabit cable sounds like a thick, rigid pipe. For anyone who's fought with heavy copper cable, the physical size must be a shock.
It is. It's what we could call the physical aha moment. Despite the incredible performance, this cable is only 4.5 millimeters thick.
Yeah.
And it has a tiny bending radius of just 45 millimeters. This means you could probably fit 3 of these cables in the same conduit space you'd use for one old stiff copper one.
And speaking of that physical build, the sources point out the safety ratings. The jacket is LSHF.
Yeah, LSHF. Low smoke and halogen free. This is absolutely critical for any commercial or, high-end residential job. It means if there's a fire, the jacket won't release all that toxic corrosive smoke.
So it meets those really tough regulatory standards like REACH-H and RoHS.
It has to. And inside those connectors where the magic happens.
Let's go down there.
They're 24K gold-plated, of course, corrosion-resistant, and they use Kramer's CLS-AOCH design so they don't pull out. The actual converter uses a 4-channel, 850-nanometer VCSEL array.
The laser that drives it.
That's the light engine. And even with all that tech, the power draw is tiny. Just 250 milliwatts max.
Low power, thin, safe, and it's backed by a 7-year Kramer warranty.
Right. So what this all boils down to is that if you want to send 8K video over 100 meters, you really have to marry copper wiring with specialized OM3 fiber in one of these active hybrid solutions. It gives you the bandwidth and the noise immunity.
It really is the best of both worlds. So here's a final thought. We usually think of fiber as something you only need for extreme distances. But given how thin this cable is, its safety rating, and just how much easier it is to install, does this hybrid approach signal the end of those thick, inflexible copper cables, even for shorter, more demanding jobs? Something for you to chew on for your next build.